We have certainly seen our fair share of cop action here in Denver. To take a deeper look at the situation of police brutality, the brave reporters from Pepperspray Productions prepared this special report. Take it away, Pepperspray.
Basically just opened up with the mace first, and then came in pushing us all back, basically right to that corner there. I got shot 3 times, and we got maced. I mean, I got hit with one of those big sticks they got right there. It hit me right in the stomach. Had my hands up the whole time. It was fucking ridiculous.
What were you hitting the head with?
With a police baton.
Can you show us the staples on your head?
Yeah. From my understanding, the police were fairly frustrated that the night before we had gotten away in an extremely peaceful demonstration, and we had gotten away without really, I think there were 2 arrests that day, and so last night we actually, as organizers, had word that the police were going to be making mass arrests because they were frustrated with the fact that they had made little or no arrests the day before, and they were actually very threatening as far as what they're saying to us. You know, they were threatening to make mass arrests if we were to organize, and they held a very strong presence all around the Food Not Bombs area and all around the area where where the kids were hanging out and talking about what could possibly be happening for the night.
I was in the park, and all of a sudden I see like 10 motorcycles coming from the side, going down the wrong way of the street, coming in the park, and we see things being flown out, like things being thrown. I wasn't sure if it was a canister, and then a whole group of people start running to the north side of the park up through those pillars, and it's the front group that's over here because they're the first ones that got out, and we saw cops coming from everywhere, and I guess they enclosed them around the street. And it was a peaceful protest. There were no weapons. They put on the bandanas mostly because they did not want to be photographed and they did not want their faces to be seen.
I know in the elevator after we had been gotten our sentence, one police officer was very adamant about telling us that we really made no difference as demonstrators, and a lot of the psychological aspects of it were fairly brutal.
The persons who have permits can take the street and do their marches. People who don't have permits, then yeah, I assume that we're going to stop them.
So you're going to stop them even if they're in the park and get them to leave, and then once they're in the street, you arrest them.
In the street.
We're just trying to keep the city flowing like normal, keep people out of the streets, and that's all.
Right. I mean, if they have a permit, then we know when they're going to be on the street. We can block traffic for them and make sure that their route is safe. If they just take the street, safety is out the window. So that's
They just take the park?
I don't know why you keep going back to the park. We're talking about streets and roadways.
Were arrested preeminently who weren't actually, maybe they might have taken the street later, but they weren't actually doing anything illegal at the time that they were arrested.
For sure that has not happened.
Yeah.
The only reason anyone would be arrested is because if they were doing something violent or they committed some kind of crime in the park. It had nothing to do with pre or before something. That never happened.
It doesn't happen.
Pre-march, definitely exuding power, walking straight through Food Not Bombs lines in full riot gear, and folks are just like getting soup served to them.
Move back, move back, move back, move back, move back, move back, move back.
Some folks got out of the action at that point, and then that is when they were pretty much locked in, kitty corner from 14th and Bannock, and that is where they were pretty much holding folks, and a lot of the arrests were made.
So you're telling me those are anarchists?
What is wrong with that? Is there something wrong with that?
Are you telling me that?
Well, I presume so.
You said I was looking over there, so is that who they are?
Well, what difference would that make?
But food not bombs.
Yeah.
Food not bombs.
One gentleman had 10 charges to his name and a bail set at $750. He's been profiled by the police over the past week. They've been planning to arrest him no matter his involvement in the Black Bloc, and some people are being charged with, quote, unknown, or, assault on unknown. One young man who I know personally has been charged with pedestrian use of a sidewalk in response to him taking a photograph of a police officer pulling over a car. And the word is that the police also confiscated his camera and deleted those photos before confiscating his cell phone and deleting the phone number to the People's Law Project.
People had anywhere from 20 to 5 charges made against them, things from carrying rocks, obstruction of justice, carrying missiles, being in the street. And these are folks that were legal observers, these are folks that were medics, these are folks that were participating in actions, but definitely hands down not violent, and getting these charges put against them. A lot of folks are just wandering in from the bus system. They got a bus token from the county jail, and they're still covered in pepper spray, and they're in shock, and they don't know what's going on. And so to even just have a stand for someone to have a place to go after they've been out of jail, just some camaraderie and a hug and letting them know that they're not alone is pretty much our highest priority right now.
Even if you're a police officer, you're still a human being. This is still a common struggle between all people against, an oppressive society. And for some reason, the police officers feel that they need to back that system up that has kept us as common people down for thousands of years, truthfully.
United will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
After all this craziness, I decided to beam over to a peaceful beach over in the land of really good weed, Northern Cali. There I caught up with author Derrick Jensen. Hey Derrick, if you had one question to ask McCain and Obama, what would it be?
So if I could ask both Obama and McCain something, I guess it'd be two different questions.
I said one question.
Given that this culture is killing the planet, that methane burps have started, we can go through all the litany of the ways this culture is killing everything. Do you really believe the things you say? Are you consciously, basically, are you insane or are you evil?
And that about does it for this edition of It's the End of the World as We Know It and I Feel Fine. Stay tuned to Stimulator.tv tomorrow for our final episode from the motherfucking DNC. Smell you later.
Remember, kids, you can podcast high-quality video of this show at submedia.tv.